What about HR chatbots? Axis Bank has hired HR chatbots. Why do you think they do
Every bank which has got large scale operation should do this, because employee rights and responsibilities, employees code, HR policies, and again the local regulations, everything need to be.
How is AI helping them or going to help?
I can recall, if you look at NBFC Lawson Chubro, where I'm an independent director, they have the systems. Bajaj Life has got, HDFC Life has got, Bajaj Finance has got such systems where they can look at.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Green Generation podcast, where we decode everything that is the future of sustainability and responsibility. So I am Shruti Seetharaman, your host for today's episode, but also a media entrepreneur and an advocate of sustainability. And joining me in today's conversation is Dr. Seetharaman, as always, a global thought leader, a leading voice in banking and green finance, and also the author of Corporate Consciousness. So today we're talking about everything that's related to AI and HR in banking.
Very important area.
Yeah. Are you ready for some questions?
Straight away.
Okay. So the first thing I want to ask you is, the Indian public sector, banks receive lakhs of applications, right? How are they managing this scale of applications that's happening?
That's where AI plays a big role. So when it comes to recruitment, millions of applications if it comes, it screens. Job content, job descriptions are matched with the skill matrix. Potentially the candidate application is measured in these parameters, and exceptions, unique qualified exceptions out of hundreds of applications, thousands of applications is processed, singled out those matching recruitment candidates.
Yeah, so the algorithm even decides whether your CV gets seen at all. How powerful is that?
Yeah, like State Bank of India.
Yeah.
They have 15,000 branches, 20,000 branches. Essentially, their ongoing recruitments are done through AI now. It's a fantastic systems. Now, public sector banks as well as private sector banks in India, even global institutions like JP Morgan, Citibank, Goldman Sachs, HSBC, Standard Chartered, they all use AI for recruitments.
Yeah, so HDFC, banks like HDFC, ICICI are all rapidly hiring relationship managers.
Yeah.
How does AI help in this
They
process?
look at the aptitude test. It's very important that you are customer friendly, you recognize the relationship management is very, very important.
Yeah.
So when it comes to banking, that plays a very significant role, and as you rightly said, HDFC or ICICI has got potential to evaluate the characteristics of individuals who apply.
Yeah.
And they make sure they go for the right managers.
It's no longer about how confident you are in an interview, your data matters.
No, there is no bias in the frame. Essentially, if you look at matching skills and the aptitude, if it is, and there is no performance track record which is detrimental to your advancement. Very important, especially in banking side, your goodwill, the reputation which you command as a relationship manager matters.
Yeah, and now for fresh graduates that are entering banks, how is AI changing campus recruitment?
Whether it is Axis Bank or Kotak, or these are beginners, right? They have to see before recruitment, they have aptitude, they have the requisite passion to perform, and again, it's a skill-based. Internal services, there are different types of caliber required. Front-end sales staff, relationship management, whether it is investment banking, corporate banking or retail banking, depending upon the segment, you have to recruit and you have to design, the characteristics required. So matching skills are processed in these banks.
I mean, that does eliminate favoritism for sure, but does that also mean less intuition?
There is an intuition element there that is discretionary when it comes to final judgment. See, what is more important is to design a system which is not gender biased. And again, the priorities are well set in terms of skill. Who can do it other than artificial intelligence when you have large scale volumes and then thin it down to few? So there's no bias in the frame.
What about HR chatbots? Axis Bank has hired HR chatbots. Why do you think they do
Every bank which has got large scale operation should do this, because employee rights and responsibilities, employees code, HR policies, and again the local regulations, everything need to be manifested in terms of question answers. When you have thousands of people, I'm a director in NBFC, where over 30,000 people working there. So essentially you see there is a HR chatbot which will answer all your queries through artificial intelligence. It's all designed to answer those specific questions customized to you.
Yeah, like for example, but if I wanted to take 3 days off and instead of sending an email, I ask an HR chatbot, it's super effective, but is there a fear of it being impersonal?
No, the process is simplified. It's, no, nothing is personal. Relationship is not lost. It's important that repetitive task, you don't need to go through the, it's a productive time, right? When it comes to work ethics. So if you minimize the repetitive task and use them through AI chatbots, it's an advantage.
And what I think is a super important and interesting, rather, more than important, very interesting question. And I think it's going to be so beneficial for companies that considering right now we have such a large rate of turnover with employees leaving and staying in the company, can AI actually predict when or if someone is going to quit?
That predictive intelligence is possible depending upon the burnout, depending upon the stress in the system.
Yeah.
So there are, track records which will testify this employee is going to opt out. So it's predictive. So what you do is to take this intelligent information. This is driven by AI, mind you, and you go and map it. You have counseling done. You look at the environment and overall how to motivate and bring him up to satisfaction. And that's the process which HR counseling will do. So who is a great enabler now? AI. It's doing its job without any bias.
Amazing. And now particularly talking about frontline sales teams in NBFCs that are facing immense pressure. How is AI helping them or going to help?
I can recall, if you look at NBFC Lawson Chibro, where I'm an independent director, they have the systems. Bajaj Life has got, HDFC Life has got, Bajaj Finance has got such systems where they can look at the overall targets, actuals, accomplishments, the environment, market-specific conditions, and then design, the appropriate levels of, budgets and targets are specified. Otherwise, staff are not in a position to deliver.
Yeah.
And there is a stress in the system, as I said earlier. So you don't want more turnover.
Yeah.
You want to retain the staff and upskill them if need be.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you want staff morale to be in the highest level. So it helps. AI systems are now deployed in NBFCs.
They're no longer just measuring performance, they're also measuring stress now.
Yeah.
Okay, and the bigger, more important question for a company is that can AI detect internal fraud in HR systems?
That's right. It is. That's the biggest advantage. If you look at any exceptions followed, it throws the report selections. And again, if the performance matrix is linked to if it is sales driven, it is product sales or the other targets, it's measured. if there are discipline initiated for whatever be the reasons, that is also highlighted when it comes to merit rating. So the risk weight integrating this information cannot be manipulated. It has to be independent. That's where artificial intelligence systems plays a big role in human resource management. Big companies, hundreds of thousands of people are employed. You need such systems to make sure that there's proper merit rating, proper performance ethics.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the biggest pro, right, for banks. They're protecting the internal leakages from happening.
True.
Yeah. Another question that's, I think, also super important for companies or banks is that how are they identifying, how is AI being used to identify future leaders?
Yes, bank has done it very successfully.
Yeah.
If you look at the bigger picture, the performance is one aspect. The characteristics to become a leader, holding the team leadership in terms of operational management, ensuring the cooperation, dignity, respect commanded. It's all these are over the years being tracked by artificial intelligence systems. So that's a very very well articulated system. And again, end of the day, leaders are identified and they're developed. If you need to upskill them, as long as you have characteristics to become a leader, you will potentially be. Ignorance is not an issue, even if it is a non-routine job. But not willing to learn, then ability to learn, willingness to learn. Yeah. I have seen banks who identify leaders, upskill them because they have leadership quality more than anything else. Specifics can be equipped. Upskilling has taken place and they become very progressive leaders.
So now AI also helps in succession planning.
True, very true. It's important that we identify, especially in this part of the world, Omanization, Qatarization, Emiratization takes place. You need to develop the youngster and put them in the value chain, and the career progression the ladder is given to them so that they become, they run the enterprise end of the day.
Yeah. And now with the increasing RBI regulations, how does AI help with HR?
If you look at world over, regulators are conscious of not only Reserve Bank of India, globally, every regulator is conscious of HR management. They are conscious of the history of the candidates and potentially track them from the career beginning to date and then put them in the progression. So HR management is integral part of the regulatory alignment. And they have a say when it comes to key executives. In terms of financial institutions, high level of integrity. Integrity is tested only when you are tempted. History, if it is otherwise, they are not admitted. Intelligence will throw that you have a wrong track record, you should not be recruited. So that's the kind of now auto system now is evolving around the world through artificial intelligence.
And how do you think we can make sure that while AI is being used in HR, it's not only just making it more efficient, but hopefully not making it less human in any way or form?
See, there's no question of not having human. See, system is designed to deliver certain values. It's not going to replace human. No way. Any technology which we are witnessing today or future will not replace human, but the quality of job is transforming, and that's what it lifts the society as a whole, right? So when machine can do it, why should you do it? And you do something which is more productive. So overall value advantage for everyone. So in my opinion, the banks and society is becoming intelligent. Not only customers are intelligent, consumers are intelligent, society is intelligent, employees should have a say in terms of articulating solutions, and the value chain goes up, everyone win-win.
Absolutely. I think AI handles data, but we must not forget that humans must handle the dignity, the human aspect of
That's the right summary. AI handles the data and dignity comes from humans.
Humans for empathy, of course. And that was all of what we've got on today's episode. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely think that the biggest learning curve is that there is no AI cannot erase, it can only enable, it can upgrade. The human touch is always important. The human touch is what helps to preserve, like we said, dignity. So hopefully this was an episode you enjoyed watching. If you did, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.
Thank you.